How you doing, YouTube? This is G Reporter with part two of Unforgivable Sins. Like I said before, putting partners to God, um, killing yourself and killing another human being are the three worst sins. Uh, the reason why I say that is because I don't want people to fall into that trap of associating partners to Him. Um, you know, the way to heaven is very, 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 the doorway to heaven is very, very small. And few will ever get through it. Um, you know, those are the three unforgivable sins. But, the reason why I do this and, talk about issues about like this, um, is because our goal is to get to heaven. There's like a race. This is like a giant game, if you want to say that, which is just say that life is just play and amusement. But there's a race to get to heaven. Um, whoever does the most righteous deeds are the ones who are gonna inherit the earth and heaven. Uh, you know, I'm gonna give you a little description of what heaven is, because that's our goal. But just imagine a beautiful city with gold, precious diamonds, pearls, all precious kinds of stones, all incorporated into the buildings and sacred geometry and there's rivers that the rivers, they'll have rivers of milk, rivers of honey, and it will never spoil. There will always be food on the trees, ready, ripe, and they will never decay or die. It will always stay fresh and it will always be renewed in heaven. The water in heaven is alive. Like the water here is alive, it has consciousness. Um, but the water in heaven, it will be flowing out of God's throne. And on the day of judgment, where his throne will be, there will be a shade. And it's a shade that is reserved for those that God had mercy for. So if you ever hear that, oh, I want to be in the shade of his mercy, they're hoping that person is hoping that they will avoid the punishment of what will befall humanity and all the evildoers. So like being in the shade of God is receiving his mercy and you'll be happy to know that you won't have to deal with the punishment. When you resurrect, when you come out the earth after you die and it's judgment day, you will resurrect next to your family, and the angels that recorded your deeds, actions, and ways, they will help you out the grave, and your good deeds will shine, literally shine the way for you to go. So you always want to do good deeds because that's going to be your light that shows you where to go, because on the day of judgment, some people there will be dark. They'll be dark because they didn't have no goodness when they were on earth. Those people, I feel bad for them, and there's going to be a lot of people who are chained up, literally. a lot of people are not going to see God because they refused Him here on earth. Because the whole point of belief is to believe with no, with a sure focused intention of belief without seeing Him. If you was to see God now, most people just die just by being in His presence. But you know, heaven is our goal, and when you get to judgment, first of all, we're going to be in submission, which means we're going to be bowing down to God for 50,000 years before even Judgment Day starts. Um, but yes, our light is going to shine the way, and we're going to come across this bridge. And this bridge, it's a lot of people are going to have a difficulty with this bridge because it's filled with thorns and just obstacles that it will be hard to just cross it. Many people, righteous people, will go through it so fast as like there was no obstacles. But other people crossing the bridge, they'll be slipping, falling, getting hurt. Some people will make it, but it will be very hard for them. So, you know, other people won't be able to cross the bridge. They'll just fall off because of all the thorns and what their life was like. Crossing this bridge, you have to have a pure heart. You have to be a true believer. You know, and many people will fall. Many people will fall. This bridge is going on the way to judgment. So your light is shining like a shadow, but it's shining. And follow that light because that light is going to guide you to where judgment's going to be at. And like Judgment Day is going to be the ultimate movie because that's when everything is laid flat open so everyone can see. There won't be no hills, mountains, valleys. Nothing won't be hidden. Everything will be out in the open for you to see. Um, when we get to Judgment Day, each person will be given a book. This book will be the person's life, entire life, from the smallest grain to the largest of your deeds. So everything will be written down in this book. And this book was written by the two angels that you have, one on your left side and one on your right side. The angel on your right side records your good deeds, and the angel on your left side records your bad deeds. And that's how this book is compiled. So, it's there's no lying. There's not going to be uh, no type of injustice. This is when justice really happens on the day of judgment. Um, there's going to be a scale put in front of you, and it's going to be one side is going to be your good deeds, one side is going to be your bad deeds, and it's going to be placed on the scale. And if your good deeds are heavy, you're going to be happy because you get to go to heaven, and you know you're redeemed, and you're purified. But if your good deeds are light, it's God is going to tell you, you didn't do enough. I mean, you probably believed in me, but you didn't do a lot of good deeds. So the whole point of this life right here is accumulating knowledge, accumulating good deeds, um, and rejecting the evil, rejecting the Babylonian magic that people are selling their souls for the hereafter. I'm just like, I wouldn't want to be a witch or a warlock, whatever you call them, just to have powers for this life. This life is, it'll pass away very, very soon. But the life of the hereafter is much longer and uh, much more important. You should be focused instead of uh, accumulating money here. You should be doing good deeds for the hereafter because when you die, you're not going to take your money. You're actually going to take what you did with your hands, what you said with your mouth, and what you did with your private part. That's what you're going to take with you, your deeds. That's those three things are going to lead people to hell. What they did with their hands, what they did with their mouth, and what they did with their private part. You know, I'm my goal is heaven. I want to go there because I know there's evil will not exist. We won't even remember. We won't remember this life, and we'll just laugh it off and be happy. Because this is a fleeting moment in the life story of Earth and humanity, and why we were created. It's all a test. This is the school, you know, and there is a God, and He wants you to do good. He wants you to believe in Him and do good deeds. And good deeds are saying hello, having kind words, um, not being so defensive all the time, not being prejudiced. There's a lot of people who look at me and treat me bad because I'm either Spanish or I look like an Arab or something. But I'm always being treated for the most part, maybe with contempt and anger and hatred. And I look at the person that's feeding me this feeling, and I feel so bad for them because most of them call themselves Christians. But if you think because you have light skin means that you're good, because that's really that's that's your illusion. That's you can be the darkest color and be the best person. It's not about skin color. What it is about character and your deeds. That's my goal, is to get to heaven. And there are unforgivable sins, and my perspective is Islamic, because I when I found Islam, it instantly, just like flat Earth, it instantly I connected with it. And because I was always looking for who I was when I was younger, and I found it when I was around 16. And you know I don't think people should unsubscribe to me because I'm from a different religion. I don't have an agenda of you know deleting. I don't want to delete or censor Christians. I actually want Christians to celebrate and appreciate their religion, because there's many religions there out here that are nothing but evil. And I know there's a lot of people who are Christian that don't really understand Islam, but it's from Abraham. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Uh, Isaac